The racket-throwing Swiss Roger Federer, who went on to become one of the world's most skilled athletes and was a member of the generation that dominated tennis for 2 decades, announced his retirement from tennis last year. Reports say he turned down an invitation to play doubles in the Australian Open this January. Find out what Marin Cilic has to say about Federer's absence. Watch this video for full details. First up, according to Marin Cilic, Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, and Andy Murray are all in the class by themselves because of their killer instincts. According to Marin Cilic, the Big Four of men's tennis, which consists of Andy Murray, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, have distinguished themselves from the competition, especially at the Grand Slams. The Croatian credited the Big Four's success to their killer instincts, unmatched mentality, and unrelenting tenacity. In the era of domination, which included Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Murray, Cilic is one of the few to have won a Grand Slam singles title. Over the years, players like Cilic, Stan Wawrinka, Daniil Medvedev, and others learned what it took to defeat these legendary players at the Grand Slams, but they were never able to do so repeatedly. When it comes to Nadal and Djokovic, it is still true. Cilic emphasized how the Big Four's superior mental fortitude in matches is what sets them distinct when discussing their legacy. In a press conference before his 2023 Tata Open Maharashtra campaign, Marin Cilic said he thinks there's a slight difference between competing. Obviously there is, but there's a difference between mentally competing in Grand Slams and competing in other tournaments, because when a player is entering the best of 5 games, mentality needs to be there from the first point. Cilic said he believes the players they've seen, like Andy Murray for many years, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, were alike with killer instincts and unprecedented with their mentality. The 2014 U.S. Open champion highlighted the Big Four's incredible skills in every asset of the game, calling them almost impossible to beat over the past 15 years at Grand Slam events. The legendary Croatian tennis player also believed that the Big Four were especially dangerous against many top players, since they frequently seized even the tiniest window of opportunity presented by their rivals. Cilic believes that component will continue to offer the Big Four, Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, a significant advantage after Federer's retirement. Marin Cilic was the first player outside of the Big Four to join an exclusive club during his outstanding 2022 season, joining one that already had non-Big Four Grand Slam champions from the previous 20 years. In addition to Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, and Andy Murray, Cilic is the only active player to have advanced to the semi-final of all 4 Grand Slam competitions after reaching the 2022 French Open final. With Federer retiring, Cilic is one of only 4 active players to have accomplished that milestone. The 34-year-old proudly highlighted his tremendous accomplishment and was overjoyed with his performance at the Grand Slams, the most important competition. Up next, Rafael Nadal steals Roger Federer's record. In August 1973, the ATP rating began. Only 6 players under 30 are included in the year-end top 2 chart 5 decades later. Before Andre Agassi joined the party in 2002 at the age of 32 years and 8 months, John Newcombe and Jimmy Connors did that in the 1970s and 1980s. The benchmark was increased in 2017 when Roger Federer became the first player above the age of 36 to finish in the top 2. Novak Djokovic reached that at 34 years last season, standing second behind the Swiss. Rafael Nadal took advantage of a strong run in 2022 to surpass Roger Federer and take the top spot. At 36 years and 6 months, Rafael finished the season in the top 2, becoming the oldest player. Another example of Nadal's extraordinary endurance was that he finished the season inside the top 2, 17 years after first doing so. Nadal had a perfect comeback after missing the second half of 2021 due to foot problems. The seasoned competitor overcame all the challenges in the Australian Open to win the first Melbourne Park title in 13 years. He overcame Daniil Medvedev in the final after falling behind 6-2, 7-6, 3-2, and 40-0. Nadal won after 5 hours and 24 minutes in 5 sets to become the first player with 21 major victories. Rafael started the season 20-0 after winning in Acapulco and the Indian Wells final in February. However, the Spaniard suffered a rib fracture in the semifinal match against Carlos Alcaraz and lost to Taylor Fritz for the championship. Nadal dropped back and lost form after missing Barcelona and Monte Carlo. Rafael struggled to perform at his best when he returned to action in Madrid and Rome. To reduce the pain and perform well enough to contend for the championship in Paris, Nadal required injections before each match. Rafael won his 14th Roland Garros championship by defeating Novak Djokovic, Alexander Zverev, and Casper Ruud with the trusted clay court magic. At Wimbledon, Nadal hoped for more as he he sought the first All-England club victory in 12 years. Following a thrilling 5-set triumph over Taylor Fritz, the Spaniard advanced to the semi-final. Before his match against Nick Kyrgios, the veteran disclosed a 7mm abdominal tear that compelled him to retire. By the end of the season, Rafael would have played just 9 matches, winning 4 of them and failing to contend for the top spot in New York at the end of the year. Nadal was defeated by Francis Tiafoe in the 4th round of the U.S. Open, missing the opportunity to ascend to the ATP throne. For the first time since the end of 2009, the Spaniard conceded defeat 4 times in a row. Rafael tried to end the losing streak by defeating Casper Ruud in the final match of the season at the ATP Finals in Turin. Up next, Roger Federer snubs extraordinary offer to play doubles at Australian Open. According to rumors, Roger Federer turned down a request to play doubles in the Australian Open this month. The legendary tennis player announced his retirement from the game last year, but he also committed to never leaving it altogether. Federer ended a historic 24-year professional career by competing in the Laver Cup with longtime rival Rafael Nadal. In the news conference, the 41-year-old broke down in tears as he talked about his 20 Grand Slam victories. According to recent rumors, Federer may have been given a speedy comeback to the majors. According to a representative of Tennis Australia, the Swiss were given a chance to compete in doubles at this year's competition, which gets underway on January 16th. The unidentified person reportedly stated that the welcome mat would always be rolled out for the iconic former world number 1, even though Federer declined the invitation. Consequently, the 6-time Australian Open winner won't participate in the competition. According to the Australian newspaper The Age, Federer has stated that he would not be devoting time to traveling to various events worldwide. In his retirement announcement, he said he intended to spend more time with his young family. However, Tennis Australia will stop at nothing to bring Federer back to Melbourne in a year. The governing body had big plans to commemorate Federer's maiden Australian Open victory, which occurred 20 years ago. Before retiring in September of last year, he went on to win at the Rod Laver Arena 5 more times. Federer pledged that he would prioritize spending time with his family over being a ghost in his post-playing career. Roger Federer said he merely wanted to assure his supporters that he would not be a ghost. Federer mentioned Bjorn Borg because he doesn't believe Bjorn Borg visited Wimbledon in 25 years. Federer claimed tennis had given him so much that he doesn't think he'll ever be that man. He added that he spent too much time in the game and had too many things he now loves doing. Federer said he enjoyed seeing people again, therefore he wanted to let the fans know they would see him again. He confessed that he had no idea what it could be or what role it might serve, therefore he needs to think about it, but he will still give himself a little time. Federer said in December that he had recently visited Wimbledon to look around the All-England club, but that a scrutiny staff member had amusingly failed to recognize him. One of the accomplishments that may be the most noteworthy in an extraordinary career is when Federer won his 18th Grand Slam title on January 29, 2017 at the Australian Open, where he was seeded 17th. After the last major victory at Wimbledon in 2012, the Swiss made a spectacular return to the top of the sport 4.5 years later. After a 6-month injury-forced sabbatical, Federer defeated Nadal in the Australian Open final in 5 sets at age 35. The Swiss overcame Nadal in their 8th encounter in a major final despite trailing 3-1 in the 4th set by winning 5 straight games. Finally, Grand Slam champion Marin Cilic comments on King Roger not going to Australia. 2022 was a year of outstanding achievement for Marin Cilic. Elegant victories, outstanding displays, and sincere performances like the one he gave against Daniil Medvedev at Roland Garros propelled the Croatian back into the public eye. However, that event has already taken place and that season was distinct from the present one. For instance, even though there were no firm dates at the beginning of that year, Roger Federer's probable return to the tournament was still being considered. At the time, Novak Djokovic missed the important events as well. Cilic said they wanted Roger to stay around forever, since he's a terrific guy and undoubtedly an inspiration to many men worldwide, not just us gamers. He said that he has also served as a major source of inspiration for many next-gen athletes currently among the elite. Cilic said, "It is incredibly challenging to accept that Federer is not there anymore because it is obvious that the circuit is different without him." Cilic said they still have Rafael and Novak playing, and by playing, he meant maintaining the zeal that keeps them at the top. Without Roger, it's not the same, and he believes the players are aware that the circuit is different. There you have it on Roger Federer snubbing an extraordinary offer to play doubles at Australian Open, and why tennis is not the same without him. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.